All right, now we have Tzaar. This went over very well last semester. People seem to really enjoy it. The goal of the game, well, there's two ways to win. You'll notice that there's these different types of pieces. There's the Tzaars, which are the ones with the double bullseye thing. There's the Tzaarinas, I think, which are the ones with the dot, and the Tots, which are the ones without anything. You have to have all three types on the board at all times. So if your opponent captures all of your Tzaars, Tzaarinas, or Tots, you lose. These pieces are not any different otherwise. The only difference is that you have 6 of the Tzaars, 9 of the Tzaarinas, and 15 of the Tots, so the rarity obviously makes them asymmetrical, but just to say in terms of how they capture, in terms of how they move, all that, they're basically all identical. The way the game works is that you're capturing your opponent's pieces, basically. In fact, every turn, your first move, you can have 2 moves. Second one's optional, I'll get to that. But your first move is a forced capture. You have to capture one of your opponent's pieces. If you're not able to do this, that's the other way you can lose. So, white will go first. And to capture, it's very simple. You can move to an adjacent piece, or you can skip over empty spaces and move to the first piece, past those empty spaces in a straight line. Notice that the middle of the board is a void, so that kind of breaks up the straight lines. But you can capture any stack that is the same height as one of your stacks or lower. Now, of course, all of these start as one-piece stacks, so anything at first can capture anything. So we'll have, let's say white will say, okay, buh. Right, very simple, capture that, hooray. So that is white's first move. Now the little first-person advantage rectifier is that on white's first turn, they only get that one move. They do not get the second optional move. After that, it is normal. So now it is black's turn. So black could say, move this and capture that. There's a million things they could capture. Let's say that they also say, okay, I'll go for one of these fancy Tzaar pieces. They capture this. Fine. Pieces go off the board. Any space that is empty will remain empty for the rest of the game. Pieces never move into empty spaces. Just move over them. So now, black's second optional move could either be another capture. They could capture with the same piece they just moved. They could capture with one of their other pieces. Or, well, they could pass on this second move. Or they can increase the size of one of their stacks by essentially capturing their own piece. So let's say, this piece here could move on top of this piece here. And now that has a 2-thing stack. Whatever pieces are underneath, you don't have to remember what they were. So if we had done the capture the other way, then black would have one less of the Tzaar pieces on the board. So we'll do it the other way because that seems to make more sense. But now there's a 2-piece high stack. It moves exactly the same. Again, movement is simply, if it were to capture again, it could capture that because it can go over the empty space in a straight line, et cetera, et cetera. It could capture any of these if it were to somehow have a third move. But the point is that, as I said, you can only capture things that are your same height or shorter. So right now, it's white's turn, but white cannot capture this because white does not have any 2-piece stacks at the moment. So white will have to do something else. Maybe white will, capture here, boop, and then for their second move, move this, capture their own piece here and make that a 2-piece stack. That does not prevent black from capturing it, however. So on black's turn, black could simply go like this because it is the same height or shorter. And then, this piece can't really, it could capture another white piece, but it can't really join with a black piece because there's nothing that is in a straight, unobstructed line. So maybe black would just go, boop and capture that. And that is pretty much the game. Obviously, it is about sort of that second move, about balancing capturing your opponent's pieces with making stacks that are higher than your opponent's stacks so that those stacks cannot be captured, and you can capture other things. But as I said, basically it's about eliminating one type of your opponent's pieces, or if that doesn't work in the end game, setting it up so your opponent cannot make a capture and thus loses.